Hey everyone, welcome to the Infinite Respawn Podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys?
We're all back.
Yeah.
We're all back.
We
And
were
we
here
can
last
see everybody.
week, but it didn't happen because my editing program decided destroying things was the way. So let's hope that doesn't happen again.
I heard that was probably a good thing because I heard that you and Chicken were trying to throw some stuff at each other from room to room and
You know,
crazy stuff was going on.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
It was volatile. We'll leave it at that.
Much better now. All good.
Yeah.
No throwing.
Yes.
Okay, so we've had like plenty of time. What games has everybody been playing?
Well, I spent a week at Disney, so I do have games, but not as many as you all probably do because you
I don't
actually
think
have
that's
I
the time.
played like the same 3 games for like the past 4.5 years. I think I'm good.
Okay, fair. So I played Vampire Survivor. I've beaten 2 of the levels on Vampire Survivor, unlocked the 3rd level. And then they do something interesting, which is they hide power-ups that you can unlock later with your coins that you get.
Why would they hide
until
them?
you've they're hidden behind achievements. So you have to play the game, and once you get the achievement, it unlocks certain power-ups for you to be available for purchase. But you don't know they exist until it happens. So I was like, oh, okay. Which they did the same thing with the different characters that you could play as too. And I've unlocked, I think, all but one of those. And it's quite nice. Like just the way that because there's certain things you want to start with. And you go, oh, this person starts with that. Let me take it. The problem you run into is you forget the reason you're able to unlock it later on in certain parts is because you're able to make that person go make one of the other people like level up quicker,
Right.
because they have a better weapon for starting. And sometimes the better weapons are the ones that you are not great for starting with. So it's very interesting on how it's done, but it's a definitely a fun game. I've enjoyed that. We've been playing Icarus. Just before I left for Disney, we were playing an area to where we have to get to discover the biome that is desert.
Okay.
And you have to basically knock these rocks out in order for that to happen. So we built our characters up like we normally do and got to the area that we needed to get to. Well, we got in and No Pants goes, I've got to go eat supper. If you're still on when I get back, then awesome. And we'll finish this last part up. If you're not, then have a great trip. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to unlock this part so at least we get credit for it. And so I go in and start the machine to bust the rock. And these worms come up from out of the ground.
Ew.
And kill me almost immediately. So there's nobody there to revive me because he's not there anymore because he left. And I'm like, great. Fantastic. Couldn't do that. And I had to go because I had to get everything ready packing wise and all that stuff in order to be able to leave the next
in like
day.
a crisis, basically.
Well, I left and it was like, well, it had already been our 7 days. So he couldn't even play it. So it was like, all right. So we had to play that one again when I got back. But this time I was like, we're going straight there. We're just going to run straight to where we need to go, pick up the stuff along the way, build up a little bit, and then go through it. So that's what we did. Now we're on the next mission. But it's just fun on the way that the game is built. And the fact that there is a progression that's there. There's still some stupid things. Like when you get to 40, you can't get any more from the talent tree, which makes no sense.
Yeah. Weird.
The skill tree, though, you still get some from that. Which is good, but it's just like talent tree needs to build too with it. And I think I figured out a way around it because what they did is they basically created 4 categories in your talent tree. They created a hunting, a survival, and building. And then the 4th one is solo. So if you're playing the game solo, then you can add some to it. But they only give you like 2 talents every time you go up, and you can put them in any of the categories. What I think they need to do is make it to where you get one niche or 2 niche, depending on like talents per section. So survival you can go up a little bit, building you can go up a little bit, hunting you can go up a little bit, and solo you can go up a little bit if you wanted to.
Okay.
For it to where it's kind of evened out, and then it makes sense to do the 40. It does not make sense to do it right now to where I can put them all in one category, because right now you can't even put all of them in one category and still get to the bottom, like max one out. So it's like, it's just a little dumb the way they did it, but they'll live and learn. They're changing a lot, trying to make it better. Right now we're fighting bears, which is always fun. Yeah, because you get a lot of points for bears. You get more for hyenas, which is weird. Like a bear versus a hyena. I get almost twice as much from a hyena than I do a wolf. Explain that.
What the fuck are the hyenas made out of? Bears?
I don't know. They're the size of a dog. I mean, they're the same size as a freaking wolf. Like, I mean, I guess maybe they're a little more vicious. I don't know. We were shooting them from distance, so we didn't really have to fight them.
Are they like bigger packs or something? Because that doesn't make any sense at all.
They do. No, they're about the same, 2 or 3. But it's
Okay.
weird. They are more, but they're more vicious, like the snow wolves are. The snow wolves are worth the same amount as a regular wolf. You don't get any extra points for those, so it doesn't make any sense for the hyenas to be as high as they are. But it was great. I got XP for it and was able to level up to get more skill points that I'm not using. I got like 20 of them. I think No Pants has like 30, and he's a lower rank than I am. He's still got 30 sitting that he's not doing anything with. So I don't know from that. Also, the other game that I played Bright Memory Infinite. And if you remember Memory Infinite, it was an older game from 2019, but it was part of the announcement for the Xbox Series X. And they were showing the games off the Series X. And everybody's like, this looks just like a generic shooter. Nah, no big deal, right? Well, I already had Bright Memory in Steam. Well, Steam just upgraded it to Infinite. And I was like, I'm going to try it out just to see. You can block bullets. And the game is pretty. Don't get me wrong. It's got one of the worst lines I've ever heard from a video game ever. Which
was it from Final Fantasy X? The laughing piece.
I was gonna go with Jill Sandwich.
Jill Sandwich is probably the worst.
You back off of the Jill Sandwich.
This one is be on the lookout for a girl with a ponytail. Literally everyone you're fighting is in armor. So that's what you went was be looking at the girl with a ponytail. You don't have armor. Everyone else does. But you're going to be looking out for somebody. Just look out for somebody
that maybe it's like on the helmet.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like a custom vanity item that she bought,
yeah.
you know?
Well, no, but your character doesn't have that. She does have a ponytail. She doesn't have armor on, but everyone you're fighting does. So if you're the bad guys, you just go look for somebody that doesn't look like us. Done. You know, not girl with ponytail. It was just a lame line. It was horrible. And you do it just before you execute him, so it was worth the execution, I guess, at the end of the day. But overall gameplay really good. Plot line is just kind of meh, I guess. Graphically really good, but I like the gameplay. Like, it's fun to play. And I like both the melee part of it as well as the guns feel good as well. And they're well designed. So I'm okay with that. And it's got a little bit of difficulty to it. Like it feels good. Like I'm playing it in kind of the normal level. But it's fun. But it's one of those I'll pick up randomly and play when I'm like, I just kind of want to play a first person shooter. It's not one of those when I'm going to go, I got to finish the game and find out what happened. It's not one of those.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but that's all I got.
Well, you mentioned that, and I mentioned it on the show last week, but nobody got to hear about it. But I finished Death Stranding, so one of those like I gotta finish the game things. Yeah, that was it. Finished it around 70 hours. It was good. We did talk about the fact that there's like the gameplay is almost non-existent though. It just it's kind of a walking simulator, I guess, but the story was good enough for it to be like, I don't care that I just spent like 70 hours wandering the wilderness, you know?
Well, that's what I was about to ask. Was it worth the 70 hours though? But
yeah.
I guess yes.
Yeah. I mean, I got frustrated with some of it because it's like, you need to take this across that and it's impossible terrain and things like that. But other than that, like, it really was just a lot of, how about you walk this distance? It's going to take you IRL like 30 minutes because it's across the map. All right, see you on the other side to get some more story. All right, fine. But,
Literally filler content.
Yeah, it really it
Right.
was. But then I spent the last hour of the game straight ugly crying, so thank God it was not a video. Yeah. That was good. It was good.
I'm wondering because I kind of wondered about you on it because while I was on the trip, I watched a video and it was talking about games that you don't play for the gameplay, you play them for the story,
Yes.
and that was on the list.
Has to be.
And I was like, and that was, but evidently the walking part of it, like the actual moving of packages from point A to point B, is like there's no middle ground. You either really like it or you really don't like it. And I guess the people that really like it, they do it just for the scenery because the game itself is kind of pretty.
It's
I'd
a
say I
very
fell on a middle
casual
ground
game.
with that. Like I didn't hate having to get the packages, but at the same time, it wasn't like, ooh, packages, load me up, buddy, I'm ready. You know, it was like, okay, this is part of the gameplay. Let me go ahead, or oh, there's a package on the ground and I can carry it. Let me go ahead and just stack it on. All right, let's go. You know, I was really like middle of the road about that part of the gameplay. So
Fair.
I did like using packages to punch the mule guys though. So there were
You
some
and the
dudes
mule
that had
guys.
like they have like this shield thing and you can't actually just punch them unless you have a package in your hand to like slam into their face to break the shield essentially. So and you don't want to murder
But doesn't
anybody.
that ruin your package?
Yes, it does. It does absolutely. So I'm like, what can I pick up that I don't need? Oh, okay,
So
here's
you
some
need
chemicals.
garbage
Let me
packages.
just punch them with chemicals because I don't know what these
Oh,
are
yeah.
for.
And then it blows up and kills everybody within like a 5-mile radius.
Oh. Well,
Thermonuclear
These
device
two aren't
in a backpack.
supposed to mix. Well, oh well.
it just none of the boxes for stuff like that are labeled. It just said chemicals. So I would assume it's, you know, something not terrible. Who
Something
left
not
this,
terrible.
you know, highly explosive set of chemicals laying here? Just yeah. But I did that. Other than that, I went back to my Mass Effect run that I was doing before I started playing Death Stranding, so it's been a minute since then. And we played some Project Zomboid, and we probably did some other stuff.
Phasmo.
Yeah, we did some Phasmo. I played some more 2 Point Hospital because I'm addicted to it and I need to 3-star all of the hospitals. Oh, 2 Point Campus is almost out. I think that's like next month or something. I
Oh
probably
Lord have mercy.
I probably won't
Oh,
buy it
Lord
day
have
one
mercy.
because I won't have time to play it, but it's going on my list for this fall. So I think it's the next month or two though, because I got like they have advertisements plastered all over 2 Point Hospital about it, and I got an email and all of that stuff. So
May 17th.
so it's soon,
So
but it's
2
also like
months.
one of those. It's in May, so that's literally I will be able to do nothing with it. It'll have to go on for fall.
Hey, perfect time for the fall sale.
Yeah, right.
And it'll be out long enough for it to go on sale.
Yes. Plus, I'll get to see if people like it. I worry that it's either going to be, yay, this is really awesome, they did a great job improving things they already did, or it's going to be, this is a reskin of 2 Point Hospital, everybody go home. So, we'll
I
see.
wouldn't doubt that it's going to be a bit of a reskin.
That's what I did. What about you guys?
To counteract Grif's game where it was heavy story, little gameplay, I finished Pokemon. I talked about it last week, of course, which is heavy gameplay, little story. I'm about 50 something hours, 52, 54 hours into it. There are 242 Pokemon in there. I'm at 211, a little over 200. Almost caught them all. Because, you know, that's the old age objective, catch them all.
I think you said you needed 32 more.
It's close. It's somewhere around there, around the 30 mark, somewhere in there. I wasted nearly all day Friday. Okay, because, and I've also seen other stories about this. There are specific Pokemon that you have to get within distortion fields, which are these like, it's like where time and space kind of rip apart a little bit, and you get these different spawns that you can get. First of all, in that area, I got one that is a 0.42% chance to spawn. It is so ungodly rare that you will play this game for years and not see it. And it spawned up in mine. And my first thought was, I need to get rid of this thing. I don't care. Luckily, Luckily, I beat the hell out of it. It got all the way down. It even did in a move that has recoil, which dropped it even lower, and it was on fire, so it took fire damage afterwards. It had like a sliver of health, and it was, if you get out of this Pokeball, the one Pokeball I'm about to throw, if you get out of it, you are going to die next turn, period. And I was like, I don't care. You stay or die, it's up to you. Luckily, he stayed. So,
it's up to you. You choose your life path.
Pretty much. It was one of the alpha version, the alpha version of one of the final evolutions of one of the starters. And it's really, really rare. So I got that, but that's not even what I was looking for. There are fossil type dinosaurs, and you can only get them inside of that distortion field. The game checks every 5 minutes for how long you're in the zone. So after 5 minutes, it checks. If you have not beaten the game, it's a 10% chance to spawn. If you did beat the game, there's a 30% chance to spawn. And then it checks 5 minutes after that. So 10 minutes, it's 50%. 15 minutes, it's up to 70%. And then it's 70% for the rest until it eventually spawns up. So I was sitting there, flying around. Like, I did all the little side quests, picking up the wisps, just burning fucking time, waiting for it. I think I got like through 3 or 4 of them and never saw the damn thing. I saw the evolved form version of it, but I didn't get the stage 1 version, of course.
Oh,
that's
no.
all I need from this zone. That's all, and I could be done. But no.
So how was the plot line of it? You said it was short, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, did they explain why you're where you're at?
No, you have to finish the Pokedex.
To find... Okay.
It's like Batman Arkham Knight.
They pulled an Arkham Knight.
Wow.
They do an Arkham Knight style. Right now, like, you finish the main story. The little clans that you work with, they kind of have their religion and their beliefs kind of shattered. They're like, oh, wow, it wasn't what we thought. It's like, yeah, that's usually what happens when you meet your god. It's not purely what you've envisioned. But then after that, there's a ton of post-game stuff to get a bunch of other legendaries. Like that's like, I haven't done that. Like, I've been trying to fill out the normal Pokemon before I start looking for the legendaries, because that's a whole separate storyline right there. But I'm almost there. I've got just a couple more. I need that fossil dinosaur. I've got to get a couple of the big ones that you save, like Cleaver and a couple of the other special evolutions, Deer and Basket Legion, the one that you swim on. Like, there's very specific ways to get them. Like, you have to have one of your Pokemon hold a stone, and it has to evolve. You have to evolve it at midnight on a full moon.
So complicated.
I'm serious.
It's
I'm
so
serious,
complicated.
by the way. Yes, it has to be a full moon, and the other one is like, it has to have a fairy move, it has to have a certain level of friendship, and you have to evolve it at night. It's like, okay. Jesus, people. The other one was, you have to have another specific Pokemon in your party for it to be able to evolve. Like, there are a lot of specifics for some of them that evolve the way that you need them to, which I think is pretty neat.
I think it's funny. It ends up being like a logic puzzle look.
Yeah.
Does it check this box, and this box? Okay, we're good. We can make it happen.
Which is why it makes sense that they let you decide when you want to evolve it. Because once it gets to the level, it's like, you could evolve it. Like, for Eevee, it's when you evolve it, if it's daytime, it's a different one. If it's nighttime, if it's a different one. If it has a specific move, it's a different one. Like, there are a lot of variables that you could do when you evolve it. I've also gotten 2 more shinies. Random, just random shinies.
One of them was that Bidoof or whatever they call
Yes, it was. And Red was so
Red
jealous.
loves.
Oh, he freaked
Yes.
out, man. Freaked out.
Yes, he was. So that was fun. I haven't done anything. I've just left them in the old box for now. But the story was good. The gameplay is fun. I wish I could just get the damn last dinosaur that I need so that I can move on to the rest of the end game and start picking up
I think
the
it's funny
legendaries.
that the dinosaur is what you're focusing on.
I know, right?
Knowing you.
I know, right? But yeah, other than that, playing WoW, of course, and Phasmo. I think that's been Project Zomboid, of course. And I think that's all that my focus has been on for the last few weeks. Yes.
Word.
Baka. Oh, and I downloaded
Almost
Total War
the
Warhammer 3.
exact same thing, except trade out Pokemon for Metroid.
Did you beat it yet? You still working
I
on
was
it?
about to say, I bet not.
I got to. No, I haven't worked on it hardly this week. I've been sidetracked with miniature stuff. I did get to phase 3. For the boss, I'm consistently getting up to the phase 3, and like he gets a lot more aggressive in that phase.
Hell yeah. Oh, that old school classic gaming where it's just like you gotta beat your head against the wall until eventually you get the sequence.
I'm trying not to like look up like, oh well, let's look up tips to make this easier or things like that. Like I'm just completely going in blind through the whole
Hell
thing.
yeah. You'll get it eventually.
You'll get there, man. You'll do it.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
I just gotta play again. I just haven't really played all week. We're working on that miniature stuff. Like I played around until I could get the base the way I wanted it for the demon that I'm making and bringing all up. I don't know if it'll focus, but
Yeah, that camera's not gonna focus well enough.
yeah,
He showed
yeah.
us a picture, I promise, it's really good.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like crackled earth and lava underneath.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yes.
I'll show it all off once it's all completely done.
Soon.
Mm-hmm. But like I said before, I passed away. I downloaded Total War Warhammer 3, and so did Baka, I think.
Yes. I downloaded it. Let it start downloading while I was sitting at home while watching Vox Machina.
It took me 5 hours to download the damn thing. It was 113 gigs, and my
It didn't
Xbox
take
app
me
doesn't.
that long. It took me like half that time.
My Xbox app limits the amount of speed that I can download at. For some reason, it downloads mine downloads at 5 megabytes per second. Grif's Steam downloads at like 27. Like my computer
Mine's
actually
special.
gets shafted. It does not let it download very fast.
That's weird.
It is very weird. I've tried everything, by the way. Like I've turned on the Xbox sharing thing where you download from other people. Restarted. Like just my computer does not download nearly as fast. Nothing does compared to Grif's.
You're hardwired, right?
Yeah, I'm hardwired. I tried different cords too. Like we have the same everything too. I don't know.
It
They just
like
hate
their
you,
one.
man. I didn't want to
Pretty
say
much.
anything, but they emailed me about it. They don't like you.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'll take that personally then.
Well, I mean, but yeah, we can mess around with that at some point here soon.
I have read these things, typical Total War problems that happen with new releases. So
So what you're saying is find the army with the elephants and be broken.
Yes.
Have you played Three Kingdoms?
No, I kept waiting for it to go like on sale for like $20 or something, but it's never quite hit that point.
That's fine. One of the pinnacle things in the newer ones is the hero battles, is where like your two heroes will fight it out in the middle of a field. I've watched a few of those in this game, and oh my god, the AI actually has legitimate problems. Like they run at each other, they swing, and then they start spinning and just walk off. And then they just kind of stand there, like doing nothing, making a smoothie, chilling, and then they'll just run at each other again and walk by. It's like, brah, you're supposed to be fighting, not just standing there or just chilling.
Just
They
chilling.
took some swings, missed, and decided they needed to like reset themselves.
Apparently. Oh my god. But yeah, like there are issues that I have read, so we'll definitely go in with a cautious mindset.
You guys want to talk some news stuff?
Again.
Yeah. You want
Again?
to get through some stuff from like weeks ago that we didn't get to talk about, so we're going to talk about it now.
Yes.
Where do we want to start then?
Let's start with the Sony Bungie thing, since it was
All
like,
right.
because the last thing we talked about that we actually had a show was the Microsoft one, and then this happened right afterwards.
It happened the day
makes
after our
sense.
last show, too.
Yeah. So we're just, leading into that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So those who haven't been living under a rock for the last 3 weeks, Sony is buying Bungie for $3.6 billion. They call it a partnership, which irritates the shit out of me. It's
How's
a
it a
partnership.
partnership if
No,
you
you're
bought
buying.
them?
You're saying you're buying them.
Yeah. What is the
And you're calling it a
3.6
partnership.
billion?
Well, they're like, well, they're going to work as an independent company, and I was like, but that's what Microsoft does with their companies, and I'm pretty sure that's what Sony's been doing with their companies. It doesn't mean they don't own them.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though, because Destiny and Call of Duty are the two main games on Sony. I said Call of Duty. You heard that, right?
Yes. You definitely,
so funny to me.
definitely heard that.
it was. She lost it, so I had to go on. And,
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not gonna unhear Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
So
It's totally different game.
So you all right? Anyway,
it's on Steam. You can still search it up. Uncensored.
Look at that up in
Uncensored Call of
incognito
Duty.
window. There you go.
No. You want ads? You get the right ads.
Oh my god. Carry on. Sorry, Oak.
I know it's funny. I mean, I can't deny that. But Destiny and Call of Duty are their two top games. So the minute Microsoft basically bought Call of Duty, they were worried about the possibility of losing their other top one, because it was rumored not long ago, like within a year, that Microsoft was looking at buying Bungie again as well. So could
Bungie.
you but here's the thing with Bungie. This is the thing that drives me crazy. Bungie, independent company, goes and gets bought by Microsoft because they had to. They were going bankrupt, so they had to have it because they lost a lot of money on one of the games.
He's gonna
they
make
made.
my joke from the last show.
And they turn around and they go, "Hey, I want to be independent." Cool. All right, give us Halo. You go make whatever games you want to go make. That's cool. Activision buys them. They're like, Activision's a shit company. I can't believe we're working for them. We're having all these problems, blah, blah, blah. They destroyed Destiny. You know what's going to happen. We got to figure out a way to get independent. We're independent. Cool. Now Sony's bottom. Like, how many... Has this ever happened? We got to look and see if there's ever been one company that's been independent three times, essentially.
I don't think that they understand what independent means.
No, 100%.
To be fair, I made that on the last show too before it got eaten. I was like, I think Bungie is the only company that has been passed around so much. And to be fair, in about 2 years, they're going to break off from Sony. And in 2 years after that, Nintendo is going to pick them up at the end. And they will have fully passed around through all three major companies.
You can't even play Destiny on Nintendo, can you?
Not yet.
Oh, okay,
not yet.
Not until the acquisition in a few years. Got it.
Yeah, once Nintendo gets a taste of that Bungie, then
I think it's going to be... They're looking at playing certain games through their cloud system. And I think that's what you're going to end up doing. That's how you're able to play Apex and things like that. You're playing through their cloud system.
Yeah, but I mean, Apex's company's never tried to sell itself to them, so you don't know. Yeah, Nintendo's just the next logical step in this purchase chain.
Yeah, that is true. It is true.
Bungie made its own.
I don't know though.
blockchain
Nintendo
before
doesn't
it
get
was
rid
cool.
of their stuff either, though.
Well, that's true.
Like,
once you end up in Nintendo's hands, you are there forever. You've made it home.
Hell, to be fair, Nintendo doesn't buy their companies. Like, once you swear loyalty to Nintendo, you don't go anywhere else. Look at all the companies.
No, not true. Rare
Witten got bought by Microsoft. True.
Witten got bought. Like, they just fell into getting purchased.
Well, they were a third-party dealer. I mean, a third-party company to start with. Were they on anything else?
I mean,
at that time, I think so.
When it came to Super Nintendo era, like they were pretty much like with Nintendo, because they did Donkey Kong for them, and
Donkey Kong Country stuff was
the
awesome.
Super Nintendo, the 64.
It's the video games by
Rar.
Killer Instinct.
I like how we're all looking this up at the same time.
Wow. Wow. What was their first game that they broke away from? Grabbed by Ghoulies was the first game that
Grubbed.
in 2003.
Is
Then
it
they did-
based on the? Is it based on the old '80s movie, The Ghoulies?
It was in 2000. Okay, so 2003 was when they first did a game for Xbox, and then from that point on, they only did 4 more games for Game Boy Advance, and then they were done. Like, it was almost nothing but Nintendo stuff until that point. Working with Nintendo and THQ and other companies, 90% of them were for the Nintendo system, and then they started branching out and swapped over to the Xbox 360.
Right.
Yeah, Microsoft bought them because
Yeah, in 2002.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to their library before being swapped over, like, oh my god. Like, you got like 4,000 games, and then Microsoft buys them, and they've got like 4 games.
Yeah, Microsoft basically, especially with the 360 era, it was like, nope, you're doing Kinect games. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, like they did Viva Pinata, Trouble in Paradise, Banjo, because it connects sports, and that was pretty much it. Like, holy shit, they just got squished until they released Sea of Thieves, and that was their next claim to fame. Wow, damn. Like, looking at this is just rough. Like, they were so prolific, and then they weren't. But, regardless, we're jumping subjects a little bit.
It's all right. It was. I mean, we were all kind of curious. What was the deal on that? So. Okay.
Yeah, so, and then everybody got quiet. I'm trying to make sure that there's not too much dead space.
Dead
Hey,
Space.
speaking of Dead Space, there's a
Dead
remaster
Space.
coming.
That would have been a
soon-
great one
soon.
if there was an article about Dead Space.
I know,
Transition
right?
2.
Speaking of Dead Space, but
I know.
no.
Wow, it would have been so good.
Don't worry, I'll use it next time. I'll remember. I'll refer back to this episode.
We already have that episode, sir. So you're gonna have to come up with this.
Well, I
It's
mean,
last
we
year
were
in
on the
January.
subject of Rare being with Nintendo for so long, and the Gary Bowser behind the bars, the U.S. government wants them for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're making an example out of that dude.
100% making an example out of him. Like I just like you're gonna put him away for 5 years. But I mean, to be fair, I don't know previous cases of hacking and stuff like that. What the terms they're putting out, and these, I'm a fan of consequences. So like as a deterrent. So like whatever you need to do to deter people from doing this, I don't think fines are going to do it, because the guy supposedly only made, after 7 years, made like $350,000 off of this shit. And he was like, $4.6 million fine. Okay. You know, like, I don't think fining people money does shit anymore. Cause I'm like,
No, hell
and then
no.
you look at it and you go, you're going to put him away for 5 years. How's he going to make the money to even pay this back? He can't even pay the $350,000 back that he supposedly got. Like,
He'll be paying that off for the rest of his life.
I mean, I guess
I mean, they'll be garnishing
5
his
years of
wages
it's
and
going to be in
everything.
prison, evidently. So
Yeah. It's probably going to be like white collar prison though, so maybe it won't be
Yes,
too awful for it.
It will be white collar prison. Because anything that's a non-violent criminal act is a white collar crime.
Right.
If you are a violent criminal, you go to a different kind of prison. So if you are going to commit crimes, do white collar crimes, because the time that you spend in jail will not be nearly as bad as what you would be sent to if you are a violent person.
words of
For the record.
wisdom from Chicken.
Yes, be a white
You
collar
too, children,
criminal.
could be a criminal, but only a white collar criminal.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're
Exactly.
committing the right crimes. That's the
It's
thing.
the main difference between you are harming an unreal object versus harming a real object. So, like in a white collar crime, nobody gets hurt. In a normal crime, somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I think it's the definition of hurt too.
mental anguish is a
Because-
whole
'cause,
lot different than
I mean,
physical
but,
anguish.
I mean, example: $200 million worth of stuff is stolen. For like an article I sent y'all earlier this morning, $200 million worth of stuff. That's a crime
I
because
mean,
of how they did it and the hacking
It's a
and all
white
that stuff.
collar crime.
But they were hurt financially, so that can be an issue too. You know what I mean? Like, but yes, I get it's not violent, you know.
Yes. Not violent.
Unless they went to destroy everybody's computers and then boom, stuff's gone.
Yeah. I mean, if you blow up someone's computer and they get hurt, that's a violent act. So you're going to go to real prison.
Real prison.
Yes. But yeah, they're going to make an example out of him. He's going to regret that. And hopefully, like, I'm pretty sure Nintendo just kind of wants them to be like, next time you think about doing, anybody that thinks about doing something like this, they're going to take a step back and be like, I don't want to end up like Bowser and in prison. I mean, all Bowser needs is a guy named Mario to come rescue him from prison.
That's not what Mario does.
He's the new princess. Sorry, Mario.
Can it be Wario instead?
Ooh, that's perfect. Sorry, Wario. Bowser's in another prison.
No. Nintendo, we're writing your next game for you right here. It's perfect.
Somebody already tried to steal hobos on a train. Be careful what you're trying to write now.
Wario. Play as Wario to go get Bowser out of all the prison.
Waluigi better get to be in it then.
Oh, yes. He's the co-op partner.
He's player 2.
Yes.
Yay.
Put him as player 2, and then instead of the toads like in each castle, it's the Koopalings that you get out of each prison.
Oh, that's perfect. And Wario makes it perfect because he's the broader one, so he like breaks through walls and whatnot. Like, it's a prison break.
Oh my god. Okay,
Wario World prison break.
So do we take the Waluigi and have him like do the stuff where he can like slip through bars and everything?
Perfect.
Oh my god.
The game writes itself.
Nintendo, I mean, don't steal this. We copyrighted it already. You need to get at us and buy this idea. It's worth millions, trust me. I guess if we want to talk about another crime-related thing that didn't end up in court or in jail time, the whole Capcom lawsuit with the Resident Evil photos that they stole. Yeah, that they settled that out of court. So, you know, just because we've talked about it before, wanted to update on that.
Mm-hmm.
What, chicken?
I was just going to say, that one's done. We will never hear about how that one was settled.
Yeah. Anytime anybody
and to be fair, it was kind of minor at the end of the. I mean, it's major in the fact that their artist did that, but it's minor in the fact of, you know, they're paying the artist for whatever it was that they paid her for, and went from there. Mm-hmm. So it was like 80 photos that they used as assets.
And Capcom's got another huge announcement tonight too.
Do they?
So, yes.
What's that about? Like,
nobody knows.
Is there any hints? Or
there's a timer on their website. It's counting down to midnight tonight, which apparently is the end of a Street Fighter season or something. So people are theorizing it's going to be something big for Street Fighter.
Oh. Okay.
Or it's the Resident Evil 4 remake, which it is a pure remake. They are completely redesigning this game like they did for Resident Evil 2.
And they're saying they're going to go more horror with this game than the original was.
Which is
fine.
I
don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, though. I don't know if that means like it's going to be like atmosphere-wise, when you're turning a corner, you're not sure if you want to turn that corner because of the atmosphere. Like, I'm not really sure what they mean by that.
They just have to make sure they keep the essence of the game, because every the game definitely feels like it just kind of veers off, and each section just kind of veers off. You got the village section, and then you got the castle section, and then you got the island section. It's like 3 entirely independent story parts, which I told Grif before, that Resident Evil 4, that whole story was written in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just 3 weeks.
Crazy.
And then thrown together. So it's one of those things where it's like, all right, okay, that's interesting. But they're going to try to make a longer, more cohesive story. So we'll see. I'm excited to watch it. Okay.
I guess we'll find out. We'll be talking about that next week. There you go.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, chicken, we'll be going nuts over it.
If it's the Resident Evil 4 one. I'm going to be critical of it because Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games ever made.
It could also be Marvel versus Capcom again, but
that is true too. So, but we will see
really
next.
wants Marvel versus Capcom.
Well, now that Disney owns almost all the Marvel characters except for Spider-Man again, they can start adding in, because the last one they did, they took out a lot of the fan favorite characters, because at the time they're like pretty much all the X-Men characters, because they weren't owned by Disney. So like Wolverine, which is a one that I use in my lineup for my team like all the time. He wasn't in it. They took him out. I hope they do more like a Smash Brothers thing, and they like, well, we're just gonna add in like all the characters from all the different games in.
Well, it also, because correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I remember seeing a documentary on this. Part of the issue with Marvel as well is they didn't want their characters dying, so they had to figure out a way around that. And so if you went like a Smash Brothers, you could literally make it to where they fall off the map or whatever, similarly like that, and that defeat, it goes the same way. They don't actually die; they just land in a lower area. We're fine,
I mean, they didn't really die in the other ones either, but whatever. I mean,
Well, we'll find out what it is.
What else do we got?
Yeah, no. I was actually looking to see if there was anything that kind of tied into it, and there's not really.
Since we've been talking about Nintendo, the Steam Deck is about to be released, which is similar to the Switch in the way that it's shaped.
Okay,
that's about
the
it.
tie. Got it. The tie-in was that it looks kind of like a Switch if you squint hard enough. Or for me, if I take my glasses off.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I've seen a breakdown of it from the one of the tech shows or whatever. They did an entire, took the thing completely apart to see what was inside of it, how easy it would be to upgrade the hard drives, do all that type of stuff. But Valve did something really cool, which is they released the Steam Deck CAD files. So if you wanted to 3D print new shells for it, you could.
Yeah, that's funny on its own.
Which is incredible. And okay, first of all, why Steam is one of the best companies out there. Not only are they doing this, which means that they are already above and beyond what some of the other companies are, especially like Sony, who just tore into another group who were making console faceplates for theirs and sued them and shut it down. They are also working with iFixit to get parts so that you can repair your own Steam Deck.
Wait, is that a chain place, iFixit? I thought that was literally just the dude in town.
No, I think there is a chain. I think there is a chain called iFixit.
Today I learned. Today I learned,
yes.
everyone.
And they want to get
website that has tools.
Okay, then
we have
they're
a
getting
storefront
with
in
them
town. I've seen the sign several times. Sorry.
to get the parts to that company so that you have the right to repair. It is your console when you buy it. You fix it if you want to, which is incredible that they are doing that on their own volition. They're like, we made this piece of technology. You buy it from us. It is yours. You can fix it. You can customize it. You can do whatever you want to it. It's yours.
Oh, hopefully this opens the doors for other companies to start doing this and doing the letting people fix their own shit.
God, I hope so, because the right to repair movement, in my opinion, is so goddamn critical. If I buy something, I need to be able to have the right to fix it. And I get that some companies are weary, because if you were trying to fix it and you break it, then, I mean, we're not going to give you a warranty for it. Yeah, but if I open it and realize that one of your pieces that you did was fried in there, I mean, it's one of those things where you can't really prove that you didn't break it. So I don't know. I think everybody should have the right to fix their own stuff without,
right to repair.
Yeah. With the right
also,
to repair.
FYI, just to go back to the beginning of what you said, I had to double check and make sure I was correct on this. T-Brand, which was the company that created the dark plates that Sony went after them, challenged Sony and recreated their entire plates differently. So they patented their own plates that'll fit on top of it, and they actually sell a dark plate that actually looks better than the actual PlayStation does. It actually is more form-fitting.
Nice.
It makes it smaller.
It's flattering.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is.
For, you know, for the days when your
It's got-
PlayStation goes.
But those are
"This is
still
my
for
public
sale,
game."
and you can get them in white if you just like the white and you just want to screw at the Sony and say fuck you for suing these people for this shit.
just be
It's
petty.
got the right curves now.
But they also created like, you know, the ribbon lights that are on the inside that are blue. They made it to where you can change those colors,
Huh.
debranded. So
Does the okay? I have a
Right.
question about the Steam Deck, and maybe nobody knows, but can you like SmartCast that to your TV from the deck itself, or no? If you have a smart TV. Just wondering.
as far as I know, no.
Damn.
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Just
As far
curious.
as I know, no.
I don't
If
know.
you have a
why-
Samsung television, you have that capability anyway.
No, ours is not a Samsung. Damn.
Yeah, because there's a
I could do
a
it.
Steam app.
You shut up, Baka. You stay over there with your Samsung and be cool by yourself.
Bring it over to your house, visit Nugget, and have that up on the TV.
I mean, the price point is not that bad for the Steam Deck
Look,
either.
Grif,
like-
look what I can do.
Shut up.
No, all I see is a USB on the top of it
That's fine.
and
I was
a
just-
headphone cord. Headphone
Well, that
cord.
might be for the 2.0 version or something, but which is why I mean, the Steam Deck looks cool and all, but I'm gonna wait for them to kind of work out some bugs here.
Yeah, I kind of want
A
to.
lot of the things that they've done with the Steam Deck are quite nice. One of the things, and Linus Tips talk about this, is they compared it to a portable PC like that that's in the market too, that's coming out by another company. That's $1,400. So comparatively in price,
Good
a lot
Lord.
cheaper for the Steam Deck.
Almost made me spit my drink out.
But they took that one apart as well. But one of the things he mentioned, and it was something I never thought about, and I was like, oh, that would be more convenient. So if you're holding it like this in your hands, right?
Mhm.
Right now, the plug for the Steam Deck is on top.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's kind of awkward if you're holding it and trying to charge it at the same time. The other company has one on top and one on bottom, so you get a choice on how you want to charge it. So
Huh.
if you wanted it on the bottom, you would be able to do that. And I was like, okay, 2.0, guarantee you that's what Steam ends up doing on the.
Or
they're
they
gonna
just
end up
move it to
figuring
the
out.
bottom in general.
Well,
Maybe.
no, I
mean,
think,
some
like,
people like it up top, you know. So
Yes, but I mean, most controllers.
Sorry.
All right, children.
you're the first one that guttered it. That was you.
You said it.
I just said it. I didn't
Okay,
mean
okay,
it that
this
way,
is
but I
not-
laughed.
You can't tell me that you didn't gutter thought that when you originally said it. Anyway, all controllers and everything are plugged into the top too, and that's what they were trying to do, make it more familiar to a controller.
Fair. I could give you that.
Yeah, I mean the Switch is plugged into the bottom, but that's because of the dock that they use for it.
That's correct.
And this Steam does not have a dock yet, if I'm not
What about
mistaken.
has anybody seen a light or anybody own a light?
No.
Switch light to know if the plug is on top or the plug is on bottom, since
No
it doesn't
idea.
have a dock that it normally fits in.
The Switch Lite? Let me find out real quick. I think that one's going to be on the bottom too.
I mean, it makes most sense because there's not much they changed other than making the handles where they need to go.
Yeah. I need a picture of this. It looks like it's on the bottom. Yeah, it looks like it's on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the bottom. Yeah, the Switch Lite and the Switch are exactly the same, except the controllers are just attached to the whole.
Well, and the
thing.
screen's smaller.
Yeah, and the screen's smaller.
Yep.
You want to talk about Troy Baker and his that changed my mind thing?
Sure.
Just me.
Maybe
Okay,
because
cool.
everyone yelled at him enough, going NFTs are bad and stupid.
Yeah. I know we talked about it weeks ago when it first happened because he posted that thing about you can hate or you can create because he was signing with an NFT company and it ended up that NFT company was bad because, you know, NFTs in general are bad. But, yeah, he's like, okay, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I'm cutting ties with these people. Please don't hate me anymore. So, I mean,
So many NFTs have already been stolen.
scammy.
Well, that and or people are they can just like, I mean, all it is just a digital image. I mean, you can copy that shit easy.
Well, this was going
Yes.
to be a voice thing, so it would be audio as well.
of course, and this is not to say that blockchains and NFTs and all of that has no use and it's just a waste of technology. It has a place, but that place is not on internet pictures. For the love of God, it can be used for more important stuff later on when technology and laws catch up and they have a place for it. Pictures are not that place.
Well, and technology changes. So at some point, you've got to figure out a better way to lock this stuff down. Blockchain works, but people are figuring out ways to get through that system. The only equivalent that I can think of that in our real life is if you go onto eBay right now and you type up, I want an autograph from such and such person. What comes with it is a letter of authentication, right? So it's like, I was there. Here's a picture of somebody signing this, blah, 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 right? So it's authenticated in some way. So you have it. Now I have this picture of this. But those can be forged as well. So it's like, are you really getting this item that's been signed for this? And that's all they're doing with people taking pictures and resending them. And now you've got people that are questioning, they're taking screenshots of people's videos and screenshots of shit and selling stuff they never sold themselves. I'm telling you, I'm selling a picture of myself. If I can make $1, I've done it. You own that picture of me.
Somebody paid $1 for it. Except you can't pay for it for yourself, or you can, which is what most people are doing.
Yeah, they're bid on their own.
Yeah. I like that one of the comments on the article about the Troy Baker thing is how long before some cheeky bugger starts minting NFTs of these NFT U-turns so people can own the moment. I mean, that's like the next logical scammy step is like, oh, look at this thing that failed. Let's mint this picture and you can have it forever. Like, what do? Do you like screenshot the tweet that exists on Twitter for as long as, Troy Baker has an account and doesn't delete it? Like, it's not like that's special, y'all.
You'll have a picture of Logan Paul from when he figured out that he didn't actually have the Pokemon cards, and then
oh my god, it's gonna be called Logan Paul's disappointment.
Yeah,
there's my
when
moment.
That happens, there will be lawsuits that start happening when somebody else copyrights somebody else's face and then makes a bunch of money off of it. That's where lawsuits will start happening. Like, at what point is it when you turn on your Twitch stream and Twitch shuts it down because you don't own the rights to your own face?
Well, you can own your personal face, but you can't own the picture of your personal face. There's a difference.
Okay, so if you put a screenshot up on there, like, if someone takes a screenshot and sends it to Twitch, be like, I own this face. This picture of this face is mine. I don't want this on this Twitch channel.
Technically, Twitch already does this to us. Technically, they already do this. Because if you go right now, and you go stream on another platform, and you stream at the same time you do on Twitch, they already say they owned your video, your presence, everything else that's on there, and they can use it any way they want to. That was part of the agreement we assigned as being an affiliate. So technically, they already do this to us, and partners can't go on another site at all. So, like, at least we could go, all right, we got 24 hours, we can go somewhere else, and then we can come back, whatever. They can't do that at all because they've signed that contract that says they're exclusive for Twitch. They can have videos on YouTube, but they can't stream on YouTube. So it's like that same concept is it, like they already do it. They own our, when we sign the little contract, that's what happens.
They own you.
I say signed. We push the little button. That's what happens.
You're digital signed.
But yeah, it's going to get ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love this too. Like every week we figure out a way, even if there was no NFT anything on here, we would have figured out a way to talk about NFTs.
It's just like the flavor, I guess, right now or something. I guess
you know what? I'll be honest. I would rather talk NFTs for the whole entire year than go through a whole nother sexual harassment lawsuit year of companies getting.
Look,
outed.
I was thinking in my head earlier. We haven't heard anything in a minute since all that went down, like a few weeks ago with the sales. And then you're like bringing it up from like a boil.
I already thought of it. I already thought of it. It's destined at that point.
Well,
folks, next week on Infinite Respawn.
It's like glimpsing into the future. So, okay, this one's not really NFT related, but kind of in a roundabout way is probably going to be in the future. But the other new trend in addition to NFTs is metaverses. And Bandai Namco is building a really expensive one for their IP metaverse. I
It's
think
for
this
all of
stuff
their
is so
fighting
weird.
games.
Yeah, it's for all of their properties so that you can have one virtual space to visit. But usually when people do metaverses, it's only a matter of time before they start selling digital land so you can live in their metaverse and doing Second Life stuff where it's like, well, here's your digital avatar, but you have to buy all of our cool branded stuff in the metaverse to wear it so that you look cool and unique. Not like that other guy that's wearing the same outfit, I swear. Don't look over there, you know. I think it's weird because everybody is talking metaverse right now, but none of them are connected. So I don't know. It's a weird place.
I feel like though Meta is going to end up being like right now. If you think about the internet itself, zero, unless they're owned by the same major corporation, zero websites are connected.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except through one thing. So metaverse will eventually be the internet. Okay.
Yes,
Think of it from that
absolutely.
standpoint.
Yeah.
And then separate companies will have their own metas. So,
Yes.
and then we access it through whatever means that happens to be. Right now it'd be PCs. Eventually it would end up being
VR headsets and
yeah.
whatever.
So
kind
we'll
of
eventually move that
connectability,
way.
yeah.
But that's the way I look at Meta. Meta is
Yes.
eventually all that, which is why you're building it. That's why Microsoft is doing what they're doing. They're looking at Meta for them. Once Facebook made that move to become Meta, then people had to go ahead and jump on it. It was inevitable, but everybody was kind of not talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody has to talk about it because somebody literally changed their name to Meta, which ruined the word Meta for gaming.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. No more meta. Okay.
No more.
No more. We've said meta way too many times.
Meta.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the metaverse thing ends up with these different companies and what they end up doing with it. And I think it's going to be, if you can make a world that people want to visit all the time, that's who's going to end up winning out. And it's got to be not just me doing it and not just Chicken doing it, not just Grif doing it. It'd be one of those where you turn around and Baka's like, I want to do a fighting game, but I want to be the fighter. I don't have to move my legs, don't move my feet, whatever, but I want to feel like the person that's there. It's moving around or whatever. So you get a new level, right? Or I'm like, I want to do the first person shooter. And then Chicken's like, well, today I want to go slay dragons, you know, whatever it happens to be, like that whole feel, but one world you walk into. So you go in and you're like, one part of the planet is this or that. Like, that's what I always thought of when thinking of Ready Player One was
Yes.
the fact they had planets that you could go to, and that planet was themed based on whatever it was.
And that's like the critical point is who's going to be the one to do it? Like, what are you going to log into that puts you into the internet world, the internet metaverse? Because you got to think of it like the internet that we have now. We open up a web page, and then we take that tunnel somewhere. Like when we log on to the metaverse, where do we land? Who gets to make the foundation for us to connect to the rest of them? Because I sure as hell know it ain't going to be Comcast. Those motherfuckers are so far behind. They don't care about any technological progress regardless. They just want their money. That's it. Just money.
So at what point, here's another question. At what point do we get to the point we have now to where you can build your own VR headset to get into Meta, where right now you can do that with a PC, right? But at one point it was everybody kind of held that close to their chest, and then the OEMs were like, well, sorry, your patent's up. Boom, we got to do our thing. And so I'm interested to see how long that takes. I think you're right. It's going to take a while, but I think we're within a decade. Somewhere within a decade is going to be where people are building their own.
2030s. If the VR, because 2025 is what I said, like some almost 10 years ago, where they were first announcing them. I was like, 2025 is where I think the VR headsets are going to be at a good place where you can purchase them at an affordable cost. I'm still on that path. I think with the Steam Deck being released right now, the Steam has another VR headset, their third iteration that they are working on now, that's going to be a lot stronger and more affordable to what is out currently. So
I think, and your GDC's coming up, so your Game Developer Conference is coming up. It's either going to be a GDC or Apple's main event that's in June. Apple is releasing, guarantee they're announcing their VR headset. It's either going to be AR or VR. I don't know which, but it's going to be one or the other.
It's going to be some sort of augmented reality, whether virtual or augment normal. It's going to be something. So,
yep. So everybody getting into it.
Yes, it's the future. I know we watch a lot of sci-fi movies, and we're like, "Oh, that's so crazy," but we're literally living in the sci-fi world. So,
we're getting there.
My guess though is Bandai Namco is going to lean towards Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
I mean, they own it. They're gonna...
Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Naruto, like all that stuff that they can have access to and use.
Well, since we're going to be eventually living in a very futuristic world, I guess we can discuss one of the last things, which is CD Projekt Red put out a massive patch for Cyberpunk 2077 to try to fix some of the stuff, including console versions, which are still, I mean, from what I've heard, they're good-ish, but I mean,
they're better, but they're still iffy. Also, reading through all of the notes, they had to restrict a lot of the changes from the older generation consoles because they just couldn't work properly. Like, some of the changes are really good. Like, oh my god, some of those should have just been part of the base game. Like, having reactionary citizens is just something basic. And it feels bad that we're a year and a half down the road and it's like, now we're getting some of the basics. It's like, and like I said when the game first released and a couple weeks afterwards, give it time. This game will be absolutely phenomenal. It's just gonna take a while to get there. I mean, we're 4 years into actual production of this game. They slapped it together after debating about what it was gonna be, and then released it real quick. And now they're actually making it.
They made, like, I like some of the things they did too, which is some of the text spams and stuff like that you would get of new missions and things. They're reduced. I don't know if they reduced them or just made them to where they're not as prevalent. But it's one of those where I wonder. And then they made an odd decision that I didn't think was necessary, but I just thought was funny, which is whoever one of your love interests might be will end up sending you like a pic of themselves, and I'm like, I guess that's what you really do, but I think that's weird.
It's because the love stories were relatively short and they're trying to add a little extra content, but really what they did was buffed up Judy and Panam's stuff, but not really Carrie and River. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's better than the Red Dead update that they did a while back. Look, we added in tumbleweeds for when there's no other players on the server.
Oh, I mean, and one of the basic things that they added too was adding apartments that you could buy and customizations in your apartment and being able to change your look.
Yeah, being able to change your look mid-game is one of those things where it's like, I don't understand RPGs that allow you to have a character creator but never
then never offer you a barbershop to work it. It's like,
well, I mean, it's in a lot of games like that. Like, I just think we're to a point where that's something that should be available in the base game. But even
absolutely,
you know, Mass Effect doesn't allow you to do it.
Changing your clothes, changing your hair, tattoos, things like that. I get.
You can't change your tattoos.
Actual facials. Huh?
You can't change your tattoos.
What'd you say?
You can only.
Well,
change,
I'm just saying that should be possibilities for games.
Yes.
What I'm saying for because you can in certain games. What I'm saying for is in this game, you should be able to change just about anything because it's literally built in a world that you can be pretty much a robot if you wanted to in the way that you look. So
hard agree on that. Like, you should be able to modify so many things about yourself in that game, but especially since that was one of the things that they boasted about before the game came out was how comprehensive the customization suite was going to be, and then it's really not. Like, it's pretty lackluster. But the actual upgrades to it, they did things like ray tracing and whatnot. They tweaked the crowds. There's been a bunch of people are still adding hidden update things. Like, they changed the scene a little. They've tweaked the lighting in this so it's better. Things like that, where it's like there's a bunch of stuff that they just didn't tell you about that you're not gonna find until you're playing it, or you read one of the master lists that people are compiling, which is pretty neat too. It's nice that they added some smaller touches as well. There's also
which to me is nice, but it's also indicative of what they're doing. It's like these kind of secrets are stuff that you should have had in the game so that people could discover. But I mean, instead,
a lot of this should have been in the base game when it launched, but it just wasn't ready, and they launched it anyway. So,
like I said, it will be a good game in a while from now. But right now, they're still working on a lot of the basics.
Yeah.
So,
word. What else we got?
I think
I added that last article.
Halo. So
yeah, I added that
Halo
last
TV
one.
series?
Yeah. Because they released the trailer the day after we were done with the last podcast too.
Oh, okay.
And then they showed us another trailer later on, I think during the Super Bowl or at some point.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then they IGN did an interview with them too, which makes me unhappy, but I get it. It's a different medium. It's a different type of storytelling, but that does not mean I have to like the design choice that they're going with, especially when you can just look up the actor who's playing him and see his face right away. So,
right.
Spoiler for the series. They're going to show Master Chief's face, which, like I said, I get why they're making that design choice so that the audience can feel more connected. But first of all, listening to Chief's voice for over 20 years now, having it sound different immediately just literally threw me through a loop.
Oh,
like,
it was
I couldn't,
jarring.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, what was that Chief talking? Like, especially when you have Cortana sound the same, that makes it worse. It's like you connect to Cortana and then you hear Chief and you're like, eh.
But I think part of that's because we see Cortana normally, like because the Cortana is based on her look is very similar to the woman that plays her, but it's I just don't understand. I understand the aspect of because one of the things was, and this was I put this on our podcast chat, but it's one of those where I look at it as we are Master Chief. So that's at least that's the way I always thought of the game was we are Master Chief, so we feel like Master Chief, so we don't want to see the face because we know what our face looks like and that's who we are. Or we are imagining who he looks like,
He's the faceless demon, the super soldier that we envision. And him not having a face kind of lets us perceive that in our way.
And I think moving towards this, when you're dealing with a medium such as, if this was a movie, I'd be mad or madder. Ooh. I'm still not okay with it, but I'd be a whole lot more upset if it was a movie because you've got 2 hours to tell a story. There would be no reason to actually show a face. But this one, it looks as though based on the trailers that they've shown so far, you're going to get John's story. So you're going to find out who John is as a child all the way through the adult and build that story up like a TV series should. And so showing his face makes sense in that aspect. It from storytelling. It does not make sense in the video game based on the way they told the story. So I get it. I'm not happy about it, but it's also one of those where I'm still going to watch the damn thing because I want to go in informed, and it's fucking Halo and I'm a sucker. So
I like watching, like, and we talked about it last week, watching the trailer, like some of the actual design choices blow my fucking mind because it's a futuristic world, right? You're telling me that they're using 500-year-old guns? They have AK-47. Seriously?
What about
You're
the
in the
car?
future. Yeah, they're using a fucking like 2019 Chevy Tahoe or some shit sitting off on the side that's not rusted. It's 450 years old and it's still in working condition. You're telling me.
Well, to be fair in that
there's
aspect.
No to be fair on that one.
There is because there are gun designs now that AK-47 still exists. The gun's 60 years old. The guns they're using now are just made recently, but they use the same mold. There's a difference in that. You could use the same mold.
500 years. You're telling me you're not upgrading the design?
Oh, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. But you said that they're using 500-year-old technology. That's not true. The gun could look the same and be different technology.
500-year-old design. Like,
yeah.
oh
hey,
my
man, you
God.
stick with that classic look, man.
Okay, there's classic, and
when
then there's
somebody busts out like an ivory handled freaking pistol from like the 1800s, I'm gonna have a major issue.
I mean, I'm just saying, could you imagine in this modern day, like someone goes to rob you and they pull out like this old like club and they're like, I'm gonna get you. And it's like, bro, it's 2022. I got a Glock right here. What are you trying to do here?
It'd probably be more like they pull out an old like flintlock pistol kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
shot,
hold on,
then
hold on,
it's
let me
like
rob
15.
you.
That's what 100 years ago.
Yeah. But to be
Like,
fair,
I mean-
maybe they just updated it and it only looks that way.
Oh, like some of the design choices, like I get it. I get you're just trying to work with, but you can create props. Make the world feel futuristic, because it feels like Chief is fighting
I gotta
modern
find
day.
the scene that you're talking about on that because Grif had told me you had seen that and I never went back to look at it because I didn't pay attention to that.
It's where the door, like they're standing at the gates and the gates are starting and all the people have their guns standing behind the barricade and they start shooting their AKs and it pans over and you see the Chevy sitting over off on the side.
Yeah.
It's like,
But what though?
but what? I mean, I don't think I've seen a 500-year-old car still look that good, but you know, maybe they've got like some special cleaning liquid or something where they bleach it every day.
500 years ago, so we
So
haven't
now
gotten to that point.
we know who it was that won the car wars after all these years. It wasn't
Yeah.
Tesla, not
Chevy.
the futuristic one.
Chevy lasted the longest.
Anything else?
That's
was Chevy.
just a guess, by the way. I'm not entirely sure what that one is called, but it is modern day for us, not modern day for them. Far from it.
Let me get this antique gun to fight with. Be right back. These are aliens and we're in the future, but let me go get my antique gun.
And then fucking Master Chief shows up and is goddamn 6'2" because he's not 7 foot. He does not stand over everybody, which also I get because you're not going to find a 7 foot tall actual actor to be able to portray him.
Yeah, but there's a thing in movie industry called forced perspective, which they could have done and done it well because it's been done really well recently.
That
Lord
is
of the
very
Rings
true.
trilogy, Hobbit, all that was done.
They
with
should
forced
have,
perspective.
because him fighting the elites, like he looks like small boy when he's fighting them. So, they could have made him look a little better in that respect. Because I mean, he doesn't tower like you feel like he should. His presence should be felt to the audience when he arrives or when he's standing next to the other actors. So that's just my take. I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm gonna be critical.
It looks like they made the Covenant though the exact same size that they are in the game, but they didn't make them comparable to the size that they changed him to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like where he's 6'2" and in the game he's like 7 foot tall, they're like 8 foot tall. They're a little taller than him, but in this they look like 2 foot taller than him.
Yeah.
Like doesn't make sense at all, but okay. Too weird. Anything else we got?
I don't know.
No. Oh well, we were close to an hour and 15, so we're running a little long. So.
Yeah.
Well, we do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Grif.
At Grif's Line.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
And Baka Pickle.
Make sure you go to Grif's YouTube channel. She's currently playing through like the Dragon Age things, Origins or whatever that thing's called.
We're still in the first game.
With
Still
the
in Origins.
scariest, by the way, I had nightmares that night when you
What?
posted that last thumbnail that was like last week. Like the face just was scary.
Yeah. It's, you know what? There's actually been more unintentional jump scares than I had remembered being in this game too. So don't worry, it's not just the face. There's other scary things.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
Also, make sure you go to Chicken's. I almost said YouTube channel.
Don't
Chicken's
go to my
Twitch,
YouTube.
Twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313. Chicken, you're getting close to the end of this game. So are we, what's our next goal? What's the next game?
Man. Me and Grif were just talking about this too. It might be something short, something simple, but season's coming up, so streams are about to die off. We'll probably pick it up once I have to stop streaming in the afternoons around here. We'll pick it back up in the fall when I get some more time again, or get random off days just to pick up a quick game here or there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to play after Pokemon. It's taken all of February.
Are you going, because your model that you were doing was new, old.
Yeah,
this is a new game,
old.
but it's got an old style to it. So are you going back to old, or are you going back to new, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to go to something old, because I've kind of done two new games. Project Zomboid was 2011. This one's 2022. Maybe something a little bit further back. We'll see. We'll see where we go.
Word. Make sure y'all follow him there. That way you can keep up with it. Still got more Pokemon this week, so you can catch them all. So
yes, almost done catching them all.
Almost done catching. Woohoo! Then also make sure you go to twitch.tv/MDB Oaktree. I have changed my schedule up. I have a regular schedule now.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? It's random. Weirdness. It's so Sundays and Mondays I will be streaming. I will be off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I will be back on Thursdays and Fridays and the occasional Saturday, but Saturday is not a guarantee. So basically 2 on, 2 off, back to 2 on. That gives me an opportunity to do some editing for all the social media stuff that I enjoy watching but didn't want to have to participate in, but I'm going to have to. So please find me on TikTok. God forbid those words ever came out of my mouth. Find me on YouTube Shorts. Find me on Reels, which is a fun one to try to upload to, which is Instagram's version of all this. And then the one I actually like out of this entire bunch, because it's specifically game related and it's a small company, look up Hover, Hover. It is dedicated to games only. So I will be putting clips and stuff on that. And that one's kind of fun and entertaining because it's literally just gaming. So that one's nice. I don't have to worry about all the other stuff that goes along with it. So that one's pretty easy. But for Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.